Maja Salvador, the fierce rise of a phoenix. In a world where beauty often opens doors but resilience keeps them open, Maja Salvador stands as a shining testament to what it means to rise, fall, and rise again, each time stronger, sharper, and more unstoppable than before. Her journey in the entertainment industry has never been about shortcuts or sudden fame. It has always been about grit, grace, and the fierce determination of a woman who refused to be boxed in. If you like these types of grind story, please like, share, and subscribe for more. Born into a family deeply rooted in the entertainment industry, Maja could have easily relied on her last name. But she chose a different path. From the beginning, she was determined to prove that her presence in showbiz wasn't because of privilege, it was because of passion. And that passion burned so brightly, it couldn't be ignored. Maja started young. At just 14 years old, she entered the world of lights and cameras with nothing but raw talent and an eagerness to learn. She didn't take the center stage right away. She took her time, playing supporting roles, listening closely, studying the craft. She was quiet but observant, delicate but determined. And it didn't take long before people started noticing the spark that made her different. Her breakthrough performance in Thelma and her role in Wildflower were not just turning points in her career, they were proof of her range. One moment, she's a vulnerable daughter struggling with dreams and poverty. The next, she's a vengeful woman standing up against a corrupt dynasty. She didn't just play characters, she embodied them. And through those portrayals, Maja gave voice to so many women who had been silenced, stepped on, or underestimated. But behind the applause and accolades was a woman who also knew heartbreak, deep, public, personal heartbreak. She faced failed relationships, career setbacks, and the kind of emotional wounds most people hide. Yet, she never used them as excuses. Instead, she turned them into fuel. Maja showed the world that vulnerability is not weakness. It's power. She wasn't afraid to cry in front of cameras or talk about pain in interviews. But what made her powerful was how she turned those tears into movement. She danced, she acted, she produced, pouring herself into her work with a level of commitment that was impossible to fake. And oh, how she danced. Dance has always been her sanctuary. Every movement, every beat, was a way for her to tell her story without saying a word. You could feel her rage, her joy, her sorrow, and her triumph with every step. She didn't dance to impress. She danced to release, to express, to heal. That raw authenticity carried into every corner of her career. From teleseries to noontime shows, from films to concerts, Maja didn't limit herself. She dared to evolve. She knew that longevity in showbiz requires reinvention, but not at the cost of identity. She stayed real, and that's why people stayed with her. When she made the bold move to build her own talent agency, Crown Artist Management, people were surprised but not shocked. Maja had always been more than an actress. She was a visionary. And true to form, she didn't just build a business. She built a home for artists like her who wanted to be seen, respected, and heard. In a world that often tries to dim the light of strong women, Maja refused to be small. She embraced her strength, her femininity, her scars, and her story. She wasn't perfect, but she was present, and that made her powerful. Maja Salvador's story is one of courage and transformation. It's about embracing your past without being chained to it, about fighting for your worth even when others try to define it for you, and about choosing to rise even when life gives you every reason to stay down. Her strength doesn't scream, it simmers. It shows up in the way she lifts other artists, the way she respects the craft, and the way she refuses to be anything other than her true self. In every stage she steps on, in every screen she lights up, she carries the lessons of 1,000 battles and the fire of a woman who knows her worth. She reminds us that healing doesn't always look graceful. Sometimes it's messy, painful, and slow, but it's always worth it. Because on the other side of pain is purpose, and Maja found hers not in avoiding the fall, but in mastering the art of rising. So now, we turn the spotlight to you. Have you ever felt like you had to prove yourself just to be seen? Have you been through moments where pain tried to define your path? If Maja Salvador's story teaches us anything, it's this. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to keep showing up. Keep rising. Keep dancing, especially when life plays the hardest music. Because sometimes your story isn't just for you. It's for someone else watching, hoping, and waiting for a sign that they, too, can rise. So tell me, what part of Maja's journey reflects your own? How do you keep rising when the world expects you to fall? Your story matters. And just like Maja, you might be inspiring others without even knowing it.